I go to Roseland in New Haven. I get the seafood pie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you get almost
You
like
got them all figured out.
yeah. You have your pizza.
I didn't get this way by not knowing how to do it right. You know.
New Haven style pizza. Come and take a seat. A beats, it's time to eat.
All right, Charred New Haven Pizza Show. It's episode 34. It is Kevin Begley,
Got the
Frank
fire engine
Zabsky.
sounds
I
out
was
here,
just
baby.
going to say, I didn't set that up on purpose.
Free sound effects.
Right, free sound. We don't have to even pay for these sound effects. If you haven't figured it out yet, you obviously know from the last episode we put out, we are at Fire Engine Pizza Company in Milford with Marty, one of the owners here.
Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. So this is your third location, right? Bridgeport, Shelton, Milford?
This is our third location to open, but this is actually Fire Engine 2 on paper. The company's been in existence for 8 years.
Unbelievable.
Because that's when we bought the building.
Yeah.
And started creating this location.
So we've been meaning to get here because I live in Milford, Frank lives in Milford, and there's a bunch of Milford Facebook pages, and just the talk of the town ever since you purchased this building has been, when is it coming? And now it's finally open. It's amazing.
You got some splaining to do.
We definitely do. It was a couple things. We had 8 years to get it right, so hopefully we get our best foot forward every day. But we had from financial setbacks to COVID and kind of everything in between that took the time that it did. But I think it was well worth the wait. We wish it were a lot less time, but such is life. As Frank said earlier, everything happens for a reason. Yeah,
and I think it actually, it actually adds to the allure of it. I feel like, because I feel like, obviously maybe not for yourself because you went through the hardships. But I feel like for everybody, they've been waiting for it to open, and now it sort of makes it exciting.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we could open on Christmas Eve, and thered be a line out the door because people waited so long. Yeah. We could give you a bad pizza and a warm beer, and you'd still be happy because you're finally inside a Fire Engine Pizza.
Exactly. And give us the history of how you started out with pizza places, because you have a fascinating story.
It's goes back to my early 20s. I had inquired as to a family friend who had a pizza place in the Black Rock section of Bridgeport, and they're still, I believe, going today. Sorrento's up in New Haven, or Hamden. He's got a beautiful big brick oven there. I think the largest. At one point, it was the largest in the state.
Nice.
But the family they were a family friend, and they were going to kind of focus their time up there. And my mom said they were selling it. I said, I think I had $500 in my checking account at the time. I said, "What's he want for it?" And so, they basically said, "Make us an offer, your family."
Wow.
And we cobbled it together a couple $1,000, and they took payments for a couple of years, and I opened my first pizza place. It was Pizza and More. We just made it Marty's Pizza and More.
Yeah.
And long story longer. We had a shamrock in the logo, but I
love it.
I worked prior to that I've been in the kitchen since I was 12 years old, so I've worked under amazing Italian chefs. So, and my business partner today, Phil Signeri, family is directly from
no Italian blood at all.
None whatsoever.
Yeah, Marty
But
McCarthy.
I know how to eat.
I don't want to say that, but
They bumped me. They bumped me off the dish line at Howard Johnson's and made me start cooking for myself because they got sick of cooking for me. So I learned to cook, and I learned to cook well at a young age.
Yeah.
So we had that for 10 years. My family had come into the business, and some health bouts, had brought me in and out of it. Long story longer, we closed up after 10 years in business and bought another existing business right up a block up the road.
Oh, okay.
We made Brick Oven of Black Rock, Marty's Brick Oven of Black Rock. So again, we just put my name on it.
Right.
We were open 10 weeks, and the restaurant burned down.
Oh, no.
So we had a really bad fire.
Oh.
The whole building went up. They were able to save the building. It took 2 years to rebuild.
Wow.
But when I got the first check from the insurance company, I bought a fire truck and bought a brick oven. We used Di Fiore ovens from Italy through New Haven.
Yeah.
Carl at Tuscany Fire. Yeah. We get all of our ovens from Carl. We love them. And we just built that oven in the back up in Hamden in his shop, and built the oven in the back of the fire truck and went mobile.
And you made the name change.
We made the name change. Yeah. And as I mentioned earlier, my kind of ode to the fire department was, prior to my first pizza place, I was a volunteer firefighter in Fairfield for 6 years.
Oh, nice.
And right before the agility test, I broke my leg in a motorcycle accident.
Oh.
So that kind of ended my fire career, and pizza it was. So then when my pizza business got destroyed, I went back to the fire side
and lives on through
and
that.
combined the two. Yeah. So
Marty the Survivor.
yeah. So dad retired, and unfortunately, shortly thereafter passed away. My friend from high school, Phil Signeri, came in as my business partner.
Wow.
And we rebuilt Fire Engine together. Reopened in Black Rock. Fire was in 2010. We reopened on Hurricane Sandy. Out with a fire, in with a hurricane. Yeah, so we literally had
That was 2011.
the fire truck. Yeah,
2012.
2012. We had the fire truck out front making pizza.
Yeah.
We had gas, but no electricity. So we had soup on the stove and back. We had the other fire truck backfeeding the generator to create lights, music, and the ice
Unbelievable.
machine.
You can't make it up.
And we reopened in Hurricane Sandy and kind of fed the neighborhood.
Wow.
And then we bought this building about 8 years ago with the intention of opening Fire Engine 2 in Milford. We really liked the town. We really wanted to be out here, and the opportunity to get a restaurant get fire engine pizza in a firehouse, it was an opportunity we couldn't pass on.
Is there any different things you have to do when you're purchasing a firehouse as opposed to like a regular building? There's got to be like
Yeah, you learn it about 3 years into the process.
yeah, exactly.
And then in the fourth year, you figure something else out.
I was just gonna say there's going to be more red tape or something that goes into buying
It was, the town, I would say Ben Blake and his team, Ben was the previous mayor.
the previous mayor. Yeah.
They were fantastic. Julie Nash, Ben Blake are the reason, we're here today.
Nice.
And I just can't say enough great things about them, and just the people of Milford, the people in this neighborhood that have, been supporting us and quizzing us.
It's a great community
on a regular basis when we're gonna, when we're gonna get here.
How about the health department? You got anything to say
They've
about
been great. They're they're thorough. I can say they
Right.
They're very thorough, and they're thorough for a reason. I mean, this I believe is a state training facility for Milford trains the state, and they want things the way they want them, and it's for a reason.
Yeah.
And you just do what they say, and you'll be good.
So when you purchased this was going to be your second location.
So this is Fire Engine 2, yeah.
But then Shelton came.
Shelton came, kind of fell in our laps, but it became available, and
It was the old Bertucci's,
It was
right?
the old Bertucci's, yeah.
Nice.
So funny story there is we actually went in, we remodeled the front of the house, we did some work in the back, and we opened under the Bertucci's oven. Oh, wow. And we cooked in the Bertucci's oven for about a month. I think it was about a month.
Really?
And they don't cook like Carl's ovens. I mean, nothing can duplicate that.
The one you're
Tuscany
used
fire.
to, yeah.
And so we, on a Sunday night, closed a little early, bulldozed the oven. We backed the big fire truck. We backed the big fire truck up with two ovens in it to the back door.
Oh, wow.
And for 2 weeks, while Carl's guys built two new ovens in.
You were cooking out of the fire
We were cooking
truck?
out of the fire truck. We had tents set up. We had a whole conveyor.
That's unreal.
We literally for I think 2 weeks time, as long as it took to build and cure those ovens.
Yeah.
We cooked out of the fire truck in the back parking lot.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah, that was not fun, but
right.
You kick us, but we keep getting back up.
Yeah.
We find a way to make it work. So
So when did you feel like, okay, Milford's going to open? Like, when did you have that moment that you're like, finally?
the second day we were open,
Right.
it wasn't real. I had to pinch myself.
didn't quite getting the, yeah.
It just didn't. It didn't feel real. I mean, it was a forever process. But
Yeah.
Well worth it.
Yeah.
There were posts every once in a while, and it was kind of comical. But to your, not chagrin, but like people were really waiting for it. And I remember seeing like, oh, we spotted a dumpster in the parking lot. Oh, there was a guy that was a painting place. I mean, it was like these crazy updates. I'm like,
And then, oh wait, the dumpster's on fire and the fire department's there. Yeah, I mean, it was. We literally somebody called me and said, "You have a literal dumpster fire in your hands." Don't you? I do.
It's great. But Frank's right. And, like, you see all those little updates. Like, there's a pickup truck, and I think it might be the plumber, or electrician, or whatever.
Exactly.
and you can't plan some of that. In some respect, it probably was really good because they kind of kept your name out all the time.
Yeah, it's
exactly. Like I said,
free marketing.
and I always will. This neighborhood, this town, have been very welcoming, very forgiving, very, very accepting of us all the way through.
Yeah. So now that you're open, so how's it been since you've been open?
It's been great.
Nice.
Really, we've got a amazing staff from top to bottom. The guys, running food up and down the stairs. The guys running the firewood up and down the stairs to the
They need a
bartenders.
fire pole.
Fire poles, I believe, came out in the '90s
Okay.
for insurance reasons. But
Yeah, true.
we've been blessed to have a really good, strong staff,
was just
literally
gonna-
and physically. You know,
I was gonna say when I walked in, it must be a challenge to cook upstairs.
it
but
is.
Yeah,
but,
bring it down.
they're
good
communication.
exercise.
Yeah, they communicate well, and
Yeah.
listen for the bell, and
it makes it unique. I feel like because the bar area downstairs is beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the only way we could build it.
Yeah.
You know, and it works.
And the
you
two
know.
big doors. That's nice.
Yeah.
The big garage doors out front.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's awesome.
So it works.
Nice. Should we get into these pizzas? Why don't you describe?
Well, before we get into the
yeah.
pizzas, I want to ask you, Marty. Not that it matters. I'm just curious for people because they're going to ask. Is this like New Haven style, New York style combination?
I like to call it a cross between New Haven and New York. So New Haven typically cooks with coal. We cook with wood.
Yep.
I think the thickness of it is a little closer
Look at
to a
that.
New York.
That's nice.
That's the mashed
Look at
potato. That's our best seller.
Look at that leoparding. Is that what they call it?
Yeah,
the
leoparding. Yep.
The
undercarriage.
Ode to the Presidente.
Yeah, that's right.
El Presidente.
Yeah. Not that he's watching, or maybe he should be watching.
He should be
Getting a
yes.
few pointers.
Yeah, come down to Fire
He
Engine.
could get a few pointers
He's
here.
never come by your place, right?
Not yet.
Maybe we can get him down here.
Give a shout out.
Look at that. All right, I'm going to take a bite. Yum. It's great. Really good. I'm a cheese guy. I always go cheese first.
If you have a good cheese pie, everything else is.
That's
kinda,
exactly what I
that's
say.
The baseline.
Anytime I go to a new place, I try cheese.
Sure.
If they screw up the cheese, then I know that it's going to be iffy the rest of the menu.
Exactly.
But this is delicious. Tell us what this one is right here.
So that's our loaded mashed potato. I think Bar. I don't know if Bar in New Haven was the original. They've got a. That's where I first discovered it. So I kind of expanded upon what I thought they did. They did a really great job. We took every day we make garlic mashed potatoes fresh.
Wow.
And we put the potatoes, bacon, cheddar,
This is
scallion,
no joke right here.
and caramelized onions.
Nice.
So that's the other thing too. We use the brick oven to cook the vegetables and the meats, and so everything will take on a little extra flavor. But yeah, we use the caramelized onions and then the scallions at the end to kind of finish it.
And that's like your signature?
That's kind of what we're known. That was
Yeah.
one of the first ones I was doing on the side of the road on the truck while we were rebuilding. Yeah.
Now, does this have a little bit of Irish roots for you? Sweet, you're an Irish guy.
Mixing the potatoes, right? I mean, yeah, we carb on carb. It's again one of those things we like to eat, and we just kind of people seem to kind of go wild for it right off the bat. So we just kind of showcased it and kept doing it, and it's been a hit ever since.
It's funny. It's such a Connecticut thing because I'm from Massachusetts originally, and I had never really had a pizza like that until I moved here. And then a lot of the places do it here.
Yeah, people go wild for it. And then our other one, which I didn't put out, is our buffalo chicken. People really, really go wild for that one too.
So that's a millennial thing. Like the old guys like me, I'm not a big buffalo chicken guy, and I'm sure yours is good, but just
I like buffalo
my kids
chicken.
love it. Like 40 and under.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I feel like it's a big kids thing, and I think people just love it's almost like a bar scene type pizza too, you know, like the buffalo style. Do you add any pizzas based on location, or are the menus pretty similar?
They are almost identical across the three.
Yep.
And Black Rock's the last one to kind of come up and mirror. When we opened Milford, it exactly mirrored the Shelton menu, and Black Rock will catch up one of these days. But
nice.
Yeah, we're pretty much all the same across
So
the board.
this number one seller right here?
I would say so. Without pulling the reports, it's what we're definitely most known for.
Are you still doing the trucks?
Still doing the trucks. Trucks are just really starting to ramp up for the season now.
Tree you got?
We've got 2 on the road. The third one we haven't built out yet. It's Phil and I. We can't cut ourselves in half and make more yet. But
do you do mostly like private parties, or do you go to places?
Mainly private parties.
Yeah,
we
like
are 95% private catering.
Right. So it's not just showing up to an event.
No, like we one of the last big events we do. We started in events with the Gathering of the Vibes way back in the day.
The festival. Yep.
And when Ken brought us in, that was kind of where we built the big truck for, and that was a 30,000 person event over 4 days.
Yeah, that's
So now we continue to do the Soundside Music Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Which is on the books again this year in September.
Yeah.
And that truck, the truck is built to do volume.
How do you prepare the ingredients for that many people? Are you running
all
ingredients?
restaurants? Or we've got mobile walk-in coolers. We've got, so everything.
But you got to prep
but
all the
it's
dough
all hands on deck. It's all hands on deck.
But you could probably can you make the dough in the truck? Oh yeah.
No. It's
You
all
gotta
done,
make the dough.
all done back on.
Yeah,
Yep.
back at
Everything's
the
brought.
restaurant.
Yep. And we've got like I said, we've got mobile trailers on wheels that come, and our purveyors. We have storage there for the weekend. So
Wow.
Yep.
You got a lot going on with these
We're busy.
three locations, the trucks, the events. Yeah, there's a lot happening.
Marty's pretty lazy. I don't think he has enough time to brush his teeth.
Yeah,
I know.
right.
Well, I always think if you run, do you? Not that you get sick of pizza, but being around pizza so much, do you have a favorite? Did you have a favorite growing up?
I wish I got sick of it. Bacon onions my go-to, and I'll be honest, I still go out. People look at me sideways if I go to another place. I go to. I grew up on Beverly Pizza in Black Rock.
Okay.
I go there. I get a cheese pizza.
Yeah.
And to this day, you don't put it. I don't put it. It comes out exactly perfect. I don't need garlic. I don't need pepper. I don't need cheese. If I go to New Haven and I go to Pepe's, I get the white clam. If I go to Modern, I get the bacon onion. I go to Roseland in New Haven, I get the seafood pie.
Yeah.
I mean, you
get almost
You
like
got them all figured out.
Yeah. You have your.
I
pizza.
didn't get this way by not knowing how to do it right. This is bought and paid for.
One of the first things you said to me is, "I got a face for radio." I thought that was freaking funny.
Well, it's
Marty,
funny.
If you can't get by on looks, get by on charm.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
Thank you.
What was the other thing I was gonna? Oh, do you ever make pizza at home? You have the pizza places, so it seems easy to just make it.
One of our the first truck we built, the first oven we built on the original truck, which excuse me, is still on the road today. But it's the second oven because the first oven, over these Connecticut roads, just kind of got beat. I don't. To this day, I don't know where it is. I think it got chucked, but I wanted to build it in my backyard.
Yeah.
And then I was going to build it, and I said, last thing I'm going to do when I'm home is I'm not going to go to the backyard and let. And again, I love the ovens, but it's if you're not running them on the regular, when off season we do run the trucks year round, but I've got to start the oven the day before and cook it for a good
really gotta get it
15,
going.
16 hours to get it, to get, again, not to get too far into the ovens, but the floors are thick and our trucks are set on almost a yard of concrete. So you really have to heat it all the way through to keep that recovery time. I mean, I could go out and make 5 pizzas after, getting it for, but to do a party of 50 or more, you need to really heat it properly.
It's funny because we talk a lot about on the show about making pizza on a pizza steel at home, or the little mobile ovens people have now. So a lot of people make it at home, but I always wonder. And you're right. Like if you're here making pizza all day, the last thing you want to do is go home.
You could cheat. I mean, you could do it. I mean, and I caught part of your conversation. I mean, there's, you could. It's. I mean, pizza is science, really. And once you convection and heat, and you want to cook the top, you want to cook the bottom, and once you figure out your tools and how you're going to situate it, I mean, you could do it anywhere. And
true.
I use my cast iron at home. That's
nice.
That's what I like my cast iron. But,
Pizza in the cast iron?
I'll heat it in the cast iron. Yeah.
So if you're not making pizza at home, what do you like to make the most? In the cast iron, probably Steaks. I was just gonna say
steaks, and I've got an extra cast iron floating around too. If I'm on the road, I'll keep it in the oven.
Nice.
And we could cook in that. I mean, they're versatile. Whether it's whoever's oven you use, but I mean, there's so much you could do, like to roasting the vegetables and roasting everything.
I feel like wings are good in the cast iron.
Wings are great. Wings are great
because you get that like fired
little char.
flavor. Yeah.
So that's a good segue for the question I have. Are you 100% pizza, or do you have wings and appetizers and all?
Full menu. Yeah.
Full menu.
From wings and appetizers, fillet tips in the cast iron. Actually, we got about a dozen appetizers, a bunch of salads, entrees. When you get in our entrees, we do an eggplant. It's out of this world. Carmine's eggplant.
Like a rollatini, or
we do a rollatini appetizer.
Wow.
Which is great, but if you like eggplant, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't go for the Carmine's. It's built like a lasagna. It's about yay thick. It's amazing. It's really, really good. And then our Sunday
named
sauce.
after anyone?
Carmine's in the city. Yeah. I'm not gonna say we stole the recipe, but there you go. And then we've got our Sunday sauce or gravy, depending on.
That's the big debate.
Yeah. So Sunday sauce. It's got braised pork shoulder, meatball, sausage, cooks all day.
Now, someone who's owned restaurants, you sort of own restaurants as technology has evolved. So with the mobile ordering, I always wonder this, like with the Uber Eats and the DoorDash and like all that, has that added like stress to operating a restaurant like this, or is it a
Stress?
good thing?
We don't have any stress.
Right. or is it a good
Have
thing?
the door open at 10 o'clock on the nose.
Oh, right.
No stress.
We appreciate you accommodating
Yeah,
our show
no.
here. No, but yeah, is it good because you have more money coming in, or is it?
No, we see less actually because when you minus out all their fees.
Oh, right. There's a million fees.
And
Like 30%, I heard.
yeah,
Crazy
upwards
total.
of So I mean, it's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
We don't have in-house delivery. I don't know how many people actually have in-house delivery anymore. My first place was a takeout delivery.
Do you have to choose to be on it, or do they just automatically?
It's funny you say that. You do, but we saw early in the game years ago we were added on. So they added us on
Without
platforms
you, no.
without us. So they were doing it on their own to kind of bolster their platform and say, hey, we've got all these restaurants.
Right.
And then they came to us and said, well, look at all the orders we sent you. But yeah, you did. But now we weren't paying a fee. Now we're backing out your fee. But now we're also slowing down our cook time for the people that are sitting in the restaurant.
Right.
I mean, so that it's a balancing act.
That's a crazy business
It's a balancing
model, though,
act.
that they're like, well, here's all these orders.
Right,
Now you got to
right.
pay us a fee to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we didn't have thankfully a bountiful dine-in business, hey, it'd be great,
Yeah.
But when your kitchen's built and you staff to handle X amount of volume,
Right.
And then
And also, anyone who's ever used those apps, the fees that they charge the user are crazy
exactly,
too. It's like I'd
exactly.
rather just get in my car and drive down to Fire Engine Pizza and pick up the pizza myself.
Exactly.
Which is a great way for anyone watching or listening to support your local pizzeria.
It's definitely more to the bottom line if you.
Yeah, I get
pick
the
up the phone.
convenience of it, but so if you can get in the car and drive
Sure.
for 10 minutes and go pick it
Absolutely.
up, that's probably a better way to do it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's interesting,
Especially when your margin is kind of what their fee is
right
at the end of the day.
True.
So.
Well, this has been great. We really appreciate you, being part of the show. And,
Oh, my pleasure.
and
Thank you.
Opening up for us.
Thank
And
you very much.
Congrats on finally opening
Thank
Milford.
you. Thank
Yes.
you. It was a long time coming.
Yeah.
And just give us your hours and get
Yeah.
website and all that kind of good stuff.
Sure. It's fireenginepizzaco.com. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, as well as I think we're even TikToking now.
Nice.
Our kids are kind of doing videos. Yeah,
Love it.
But we're open 7 days a week, all 3 locations, lunch, dinner till at midnight every night.
Yep.
Pizza till bar close every night.
Nice.
And
Full
we do
menu?
full menu. Yep. So full menu till 10 o'clock, 11 on weekends, and then pizza only after. And then we do full bar at each location as well.
Awesome.
And you've
Yeah.
got kind of some outside dining here in Milford.
Not
right?
yet. We're working on it.
Okay.
It's it was always said, let's get the restaurant open, and then deal with the rest as it comes at us. So.
Well, awesome. All the best with success with this
Thank
place.
you. I
and
appreciate it.
And all your places going forward.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Marty from Fire Engine Pizza here in Milford, Melba Ave. If you're in the area, want to come check them out. And we'll talk to you next time. It's Charred New Haven Pizza Show. Remember, it's not burnt.
It's charred, baby.